Yes, we did win. And boy, oh boy, is change already happening. And Donald Trump isn't even in office yet. Hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button. It does help us over at YouTube as well as Rumble. We're on all major platforms. We're on X, we're on Rumble, we're on Twitter, which is X, we're on YouTube. Today feels just as good as yesterday. I'm still living it up with Mr. 45. Winning. Nothing but winning. The office of the presidency, baby. Now, let's get into all the changes here because you guys, things are happening fast. And I'll be honest, a little bit faster than I thought, okay? A little bit faster than I thought. The first one is here, New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Well, he's ending the debit card vouchers for illegal aliens. Yo, just a flip of a dime. 24 hours after Donald Trump is elected the next president, he goes, we're not doing it anymore. No more debit cards. We don't have the money, right? So, good move on Mayor Eric Adams. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I feel like I'm going to be saying a lot of things I never thought I would say before. And here's the breaking news on that story.
The mayor just announced that the city will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
This pilot program in New York City, drenched in both humanity and controversy, distributed debit cards to migrant families staying in city-funded hotels and allowing them to buy their own food. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger following the breaking news for us. Josh?
Well, Bill, it's a program that, as you say, generated plenty of controversy, but now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing them to basically buy what they wanted. A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year. It also reduced food waste. You may remember the food the city had been providing in migrant shelters was seen as not culturally sensitive to the needs of some migrant groups, and it ended up just going to waste. For more than a year, the city was groaning under the weight of...
You guys hear that? They were literally throwing the food out. They weren't eating it. They were complaining that they were getting free food.
More than 200,000 asylum seekers. Officials say the migrant population has actually reduced lately. In fact, a massive shelter on Roosevelt Island is in the process of closing. In the meantime, Mayor Adams spoke on the phone yesterday with President-elect Donald Trump, who had vowed during his campaign to mass deport migrants. Aside from congratulating him on his win, though, Adams today would not say what they discussed.
You're not getting any money, Mayor. I'm going to sit there and flood your city, right? And Danielle said it right. No one cares if I can afford food. Well, you know what? Things have changed, my friend. Fellow patriot, things have changed because you have a guy in office now that I know you probably helped elect too that does care. Finally, we have a Senate that cares about the American people. Finally, we have Mr. 45 back in office. Daddy's home and he's not happy. Daddy's home. And things are about to be taken care of real damn quick. Case in point, right now, you already saw what's going on in New York. Remember, New York was a sanctuary city. It was a right to shelter place. They actually were asking, I don't know if you all remember this. Things were so bad in New York that they were asking residents of the city to go up and take in a bunch of illegal immigrants because they didn't have any place for them. So things are changing real fast, folks, really fast. Now, Donald Trump, just some big news here. He's already sat there and named his House Chief of Staff, meaning the White House, baby. What other house could it be? And this was kind of a given. Usually your campaign manager is the one that's going to be kind of going to the White House with you. And Susie, is it Wills? Forgive me for mispronouncing her name, but she's the first ever female White House Chief of Staff. But I was just told, honestly, maybe a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that Donald Trump hates women. I was told that Donald Trump does not like women. And I was told there wasn't strong women around Donald Trump or intellectual women. That's what we were all told, right? By Mark Cuban, right? The Democrats, all those things for a long time. Weird. It obviously was bullshit, right? I mean, he had women under his last administration too. So, I mean, Kayleigh McEnany is one of the greatest, right? She's probably will go down as the greatest White House press secretary in all of U.S. history. So Susie just helped me achieve one of the greatest political victories in American history. And that actually is true, by the way. There ain't no question about that. And it was an integral part of my 2016 and 2020 successful campaigns. Susie is tough, smart, innovative, and is universally admired and respected. But I was told that he didn't like women. Why would he possibly say something like this? Because the media lies. And you thought the media lying to you for the last 3.5 years to cover Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's ass was bad? Wait till they start fabricating stuff once again. Remember Donald Trump was in office. The PP hoax tape, right? The Russia hoax, the hoaxy here, the hoaxy wokesy there. Everybody do a hoaxy pokesy. Yeah, that's all coming back again, folks. They ain't stopping. Now, we might be in a little bit of a better situation because we have the Senate and hopefully, fingers crossed, that we have the House as well. If we have all three, things are going to be looking a little bit better. So other changes that will probably happen here is not only is the GOP grilling the FBI, but this dude, meaning the FBI director, better have his ass fired within 24 hours of Donald Trump taking office. We'll get there. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Pedal to the metal. Jim Jordan says FBI Director for Christopher Wray, who lied to Congress, by the way. What was the FD 1023 form? What was that? I don't think that exists. And Chuck Grassley holds up the form. Y'all remember that one? He held up the FD 23 form and said, I have it right here. Why are you telling me it doesn't exist? Then he started stumbling, fumbling through his words because he got caught with his pants down. Christopher Wray must explain why the agency released figures showing violent crime decreased in 2022 and then just quietly, which we covered here, not many outlets did, quietly amended the increase instead. Like he just quietly sat there and changed the numbers. Y'all remember that? It was about 2-3 weeks ago. Democrats used the figures to rebuke claims that the party's policies had led to crime heralding its historic declines. But that wasn't the case. And we were all sitting here going, well, I have eyes. I can see what's going on. I'm seeing crime run rampant. And you're telling me crime is down because you want to gaslight the shit out of me all the time, coming from the White House, coming from the FBI, coming from the CIA, all these 3-letter agencies. You're telling me all these things aren't happening when I'm looking around seeing, well, it looks like it is. Everything seems to be kind of crumbling around me. Well, yes, correct. They did, in fact, sit there and manipulate the numbers, and they lied to all of you. In September 2023, the Federal Reserve of Prisons released uniform crime reporting data purporting to show a 2.1% decrease in crime in 2021-2022, right? So then you had Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre, all of these psychos on the Democrat part of the aisle that sat there and espoused, oh, well, crime is down. Look what's going on. And by the way, it's actually worse than what's going on when they changed the crime numbers, which we'll get to in one moment, because they actually weren't reporting the crime. They were told not to report specific crimes. So the FBI actually underreported things that were taking place. Well, if you recall, we covered it last month. The FBI secretly and quietly revised the data. Didn't come out with a PSA going, yeah, hey, oh, sorry, a little bit of an upsie. No, they quietly embedded and changed the 2022 data to show that violent crime had actually increased by 4.5%, meaning they weren't even close, not even close to taking place. That increase is actually higher because, like I said, the crimes were being underreported. So Jim Jordan is going to slap this guy around. Like I said, Donald Trump needs to have this guy's name on his desk for a nice little signature of, you're fired, bitch. Get out, Christopher. Get out. So that's what I want to see first day of office. Now, Donald Trump has come out with a video yesterday that went viral. Of course it would, because Mr. 45 and soon to be 47, that's all he does is go viral. So here's Donald Trump with a message, and we're watching the whole damn thing. It's 3 minutes and 39 seconds. We love the guy. We voted for him. Trace, I guess I don't need to. No, I'm not going to go there with that joke. I might get in trouble. I voted for him for 3 times. We're going to give the man his time. Here we go.
The deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled. so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee, so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
No. Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, baby. Ooh, I got goosebumps on that last one. I got big goosebumps on that last one. Change is happening, and it's happening fast, and it's going to happen day one, baby. I want that on my desk. You're all fired. Everyone's fired. So here he is. I mean, and by the way, if you don't like cussing, just plug your ears for a moment. Trump ain't fucking around. Oh, baby, no, he isn't. Just check what he's saying here. I want these guys' names on my desk day one. You're fired. Get out. You're gone.
I will ask for the resignations of every single senior military official who touched the Afghanistan disaster. I want their resignations immediately. And I want them on the desk in the Oval Office, the Resolute desk. I want them on at 12 o'clock, Inauguration Day, everybody involved with that disaster. When you have a disaster so stupid as that caused us such problem, you don't know what that's done to the reputation of our country, the Afghanistan disaster. This house cleaning will be a signal to the entire world and America, military, and everybody else. They want people to be held accountable for failure and incompetence. And it's just not acceptable that something like that could happen.
Daddy was gone. The home was a mess, and now he's pissed. Oh, everything's being cleaned out, boys and girls. Oh, get ready. And it's not just him. I mean, Elon Musk comes out just yesterday. He's like, yeah, I think we can actually pretty much do away with a lot of these government agencies. It's kind of a little bit too big. And as a conservative, this is what I love to see, baby. This is what I want to see, is us bringing down and making government a little bit smaller and getting the hell out of our lives. Change is happening, folks. It's happening. And Donald Trump isn't even in office yet.
Any support of having some kind of, Government Efficiency Commission. You can call it Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. I kind of like DOGE. It's more fun. We just take a look at all the federal agencies and say, do we really need whatever it is, 428 federal agencies? Like, if there's so many that people have never even heard of, and that have overlapping areas of responsibility, we should, I don't know, we should get, I mean, there are more federal agencies than there are years since the establishment of the United States, which means that we've created more than one federal agency per year on average. That seems a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we should have, that seems crazy.
And look, he's correct. He's correct. And like I said, do we really need whatever it is, 428 federal agencies? I think we should be able to get away with 99. This was huge for me when Donald Trump said, hey, we're bringing on Elon Musk here to start cutting things, to start a little snippy because a lot of wasteful spending's going on. And look, we're all hurting here. And I'm a little bit tired of us spending trillions of dollars and being $35 trillion in debt, which either we're going to have to pay back, which the average American taxpayer owes $265,000 to the federal government if we were to be called on our notes today. I'm happy that Elon Musk is going to be a part of kind of looking into the government, because remember, the Pentagon, you guys, has failed 6 consecutive audits. Yeah, I'm going to say that again because not a lot of people know that. The Pentagon has failed 6 consecutive audits. Now, if you were like Google, Apple, any of these public entities that failed an audit 6 consecutive times, do you think things would go a little bit south? Do you think your company might fall apart because nobody trusts it, because there's something foozery in terms of taking place, or a certain level of error happening, and that people aren't going to want to invest and have faith in that company, hence why it crumbles? Well, why is it the Pentagon gets away with 6 failed consecutive audits? So Elon Musk is going to look into all this for us. And like I said, start cutting the paper, start looking, because your ass is going to be out.